Hi, Dyslexic Genius here, Brad Hurt. I'm back on the Edison Edisonic here, and I've been working hours. And what I'm going to talk about is this casting, the spindle shaft governor casting pre-assembly. And there's some tricks to this. What I've done is I've talked about polishing everything out like this. I've polished everything out. We see a little bit of rub marks here on the spindle shaft. I've polished this out. I've taken the governor apart. And one thing you want to look at when you take a governor apart is you want to look at the back side where the little speed control yoke is with the felts. And we see no wear in here, which is good. The other thing is you want to get the brass clean. So we will drop both governor pieces into sudsing ammonia, and I will come back tomorrow morning, and this will all be happy, shiny looking brass.
Straight sudsing ammonia?
Straight sudsing ammonia, just let it sit there.
Not diluted at all?
Not diluted at all.
Okay.
So what we're going to do first is we're going to take the drive gear and governor drive gear that goes on the spindle shaft here, and we're going to say, does that fit smoothly? So when you put these on, you want to make sure that it slides smoothly this way. Okay, this is smooth. So when you put this in, because you put that set screw in and it'll hit this slot, and this has an adjustment, you don't want to be going, oh God, man, that's tight. Now, if this is tight going on, because there might be a burr here somewhere, I'll use a flex zone and I'll come in one of these, I'll come in here and I'll flex zone this a little to smooth it out so that on assembly, this just fits perfectly. I come in, it's easy for you to adjust. So I'm going to talk through this. This is the end bearing to the spindle shaft here, which goes here.
Wait a minute, which goes where?
Here. The casting looks like this. We're going to stick this in here, the bottom piece, and that slides in smoothly for adjustment. So I have this working. I'm going to come in here with the spindle shaft. I'm going to come down. And I feel a little resistance. I feel a little resistance in this. This should spin smoothly, but I'll flex hone inside the spindle shaft so I don't have these wear marks anymore. Next, on pre-assembly, all the governor bearing and the record tracking gear here use the same bearing. So you want to take your bearing, and this is where this gear train fits here. You want to take the bearing, you want to push it in, and you want to make sure that it moves in smoothly, because you're going to have to adjust these. So I go by and I check all these, and I'm going, this one works here, good for the governor. The other side over here works good for the governor. It pops back and forth. And I know that I go over here and that one doesn't want to fit. So that
But
means
it's supposed to fit there?
it's supposed to fit there. So what I'll do is I will take my drill, put in a flex zone on this one. And it's still burred up. There we go. But I have a burr. There, it broke loose. Now this adjusts smoothly to put the governor in. Then I'll flex home the spindle shaft hole. But I always talk about polishing all the running bearings out. See, on the spindle shaft, I've polished this out at the end where it fits into this bearing, because we had wear marks because nobody oiled this thing. And I had wear marks up here. I also, on the governor shaft here, I've polished everything out. I've cleaned out the ends in here, and there are little ball bearings in there, and you have to be careful. So we'll take this piece, right here, reinsert the bottom bearing. We'll reinsert the spindle shaft. It needs a little bit more. You should be able to put this together dry, and that should spin. But I can hear a little bit of drag on there, because there's got to be a minute, like 0.00001 inch gap in here, and make sure that it's spinning, because the oil has to get in there. This is the most critical part on any phonograph, is to always oil spindle shaft bearing right here. Everything else will run, but this will dry out, because the phonograph sits like this on all phonographs. Spindle shaft's up here, and gravity just takes it, the oil, and just runs it right down the shaft like that, and this thing dries out all the time. These are just little tricks I want to point out. I love this hobby, and that's my tip for the day.